Can you dig it? It's flat. Can you dig it?
Well, after that defensive performance, for sure. Welcome back to Windy City Digits. That's Vic. I'm Carl. Thanks for tuning in for today, which is Bears postgame. Bears lose 49-29 to the Cowboys.
What was our predictions, man? What was your prediction?
31-17.
Bears, right?
31-17 Bears.
I said 28-14 Cowboys, and they
scored that in the first half.
They did. I was like, oh, dear Lord.
There's good and there's bad. So let's just get the bad stuff out of the way.
Okay.
Rack, thanks for checking in. Appreciate it.
See who's up there. Yeah, yo, Rack. And I like his logo.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not like that logo? Well, the Bears defense was atrocious, man. I mean, that was the bad. It stunk. 49 points.
24. They scored on 4 straight drives. Dak Prescott looked like Aaron Rodgers against us. Like he owned us.
He looked better than Aaron Rodgers, man. There were wide open holes. I don't know, coverage. People were missing their assignments on coverage. They looked a step slow. Bad tackling. Our linebackers looked a step slow in the running game.
Rack, you're not the only one. I know a lot of people from Chicago that are Cowboys fans. So, but thanks for checking in. We do appreciate it. So
Dak did look good. I'm assuming you're happy that they didn't keep on throwing Zap in there.
And
Pollard, he looked really good, man.
Pollard looked all pro today. CeeDee Lamb looked good today.
But they've got a stud offensive line.
Pollard was 131 yards on 14 carries for 3 touchdowns, and I think he had 1 receiving touchdown also. Did you know?
They're not going to pay Roquan lost his opportunity to get paid. If he thinks he's going to get paid what he thought he was, that was a mistake.
Look, I brought it up during the game, and you and I were texting during the game. You and I were texting a little bit during the game. Look, say what you want, but the defense losing Robert Quinn or having him traded took the air out of the room.
I'm gonna wait for it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Storm to
That's what I am.
Right?
I'm waiting
for Storm to say something, right? Look, their heads were not in the game. The first half, their heads were not in the game.
Stop it, Carl! Stop it!
Yeah, here we go. Look,
you need to be slapped.
Look, right or wrong, their heads were not in the game. They gave up. They made the Cowboys look like all world. They made them look like the Buffalo Bills offense today. They couldn't stop them. They gave them 28 points on 4 straight drives. And there wasn't even any resistance at all. None.
All right, let's see. I'm going to look at the box score here, dude. Blow this up.
No resistance at all on the first 4 drives.
242 passing yards. That's generally been our strength this year.
They gave up 300 yards in the first half.
Yeah. Right? I mean, the rushing yards we've been getting killed on all throughout the year, but the passing yards, we got smoked. I'm not seeing it, man. I'm on the other screen.
Yeah, look, Storm, it's not just the Bears, right? I'm the apologist for the Bills also, right? That's my role here, right? So, look, say what you want again, and as a coach, right? I coach, I understand, and you can say they're professionals, whatever the case is, right? But when you have someone who has an impact on the team, his numbers weren't showing it on the field, but he was voted a captain for a reason on this team. And
one player shouldn't mean that much. I mean, I could see that. I could see it in the secondary. I could see it in the secondary.
No, look, it shouldn't mean anything at all, but it did today. It did.
I don't know if it did. I mean, it wasn't necessarily just him missing like him missing did matter, but there were a lot of people missing their assignments, man.
Okay, look, that's my point. My point is that their heads weren't in the game.
Get your head in the game, coach.
Their heads weren't in the game. Look, Quinn
No,
probably
get
would
your
have made
head
any.
get your head in the game, man.
Quinn would have
Robert,
made any difference from numbers perspective. Absolutely, I agree with that.
those
I agree
guys
with
should have
that,
been
Storm.
those guys should have been jacked up because some of them had more of an opportunity to be in there. So deflated? Who would be deflated? Only Roquan because he was crying about it? Don't you think he got over it?
Apparently not.
Robert Quinn had what one sack the whole season?
Look again. I'm not saying he would have made an impact numbers wise. I'm not saying that. But
Yeah.
if you look at the defense and the offense today, the offense wasn't affected. They played pretty well today. They scored 29 points against that team. They were in it.
Yep.
They were moving the ball up and down the field, so they weren't affected.
So are we going to talk about the positives now?
Positives is the offense.
Absolutely, man. Justin Fields looked good. 17 of 23 against that defense. I'd take that any time.
Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns.
One rushing, so he had a total of 3.
Right. I mean, he found Komet in the end zone finally. Mooney got targeted 5 times for 5 receptions. He was 5 for 5 on the receptions. The touchdown pass to N'Keal Harry was nice.
That was nice.
His
touch on his passes is getting better. He's not overthrowing people as much.
Look,
although he underthrew, I think, Pettis on the one, and then Velus Jones should have had that one.
It was a tough catch, but yeah, it was a tough catch, but yeah. But look, considering the patchwork line that they've got, without Patrick, without Borum on the end, and even Tevin Jenkins had to go out for a couple plays for some reason. They still managed to rush for over 200 yards. Justin was able to throw for 131, 18 for 24 with 2 touchdowns. So the offense in that aspect was pretty good. I mean, look, the Bears normally don't give up 21 points in the second half. That's what kind of gave you hope and I called it. I said, it'd be great if we got a turnover here at the end of the first half. They got the turnover. They were down 11. They scored the touchdown. I thought it was too early to go for 2. But they got it to within 5. And the Bears defense all season has just let up no points in the second half. That's why I'm saying their heads were not in the game today. You can say I'm wrong, and that's fine. But the numbers prove it. Their heads were not in the game today.
Yeah, maybe their heads weren't in the game, but I don't know if it was because of Quinn. They actually might have been arrogant after their last game. Maybe they thought they were better than that. Yeah.
Look, it could have been a number of things. There was a short week. They played on Monday night. They had to travel back from New England. They had to travel to Dallas. Their week got thrown off just out of a routine standpoint. So, whatever the reason was, their heads were not in it. I mean, they gave up 14 points in 3 straight quarters. So I was going to ask you, because you were texting me about this. What'd you think about that interception and Justin Fields jumping over the defender?
I used some choice words for that lack of intelligence on that play. It was just stupid.
Okay.
It's just dumb.
I don't know what to make of it.
It's dumb, man.
Like I said, I don't know what to make of it. I mean, look, yeah, should he have touched him? Yes.
Yes.
Did he think he was gonna hurt a knee, so he tried to avoid the contact? Probably. Is that just a natural reaction for him? I don't know. But yeah, should he have touched him? Yeah, absolutely, should have touched him.
Okay. All right. Wow. You had my head in a spin there, man. I thought you were just doing a little bit of this to Fields, and then all of a sudden you said, "Yeah, you should have touched him."
Look, you should have touched him. I don't know what. Look, I don't know what he was thinking. Like I don't know what he's thinking. Right? Like maybe he thought he was down.
That's what I say about Zach. That's what I say about Zach Levine.
You can't quantify that their heads are not in the game. But look, the numbers. This is the worst defensive performance probably in the league this year. 49 points.
What do you guys think about that? Since 1968, this is the first time since 1968 that they've had 3 games in a row of 200 yards rushing or more. Is that a positive?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, is that a positive?
I don't know what to make of it.
I don't either, because I mean, part of it is because their passing game isn't as strong as you'd like it to be, and
Well,
that's more on the offensive line.
but you brought it up a couple days ago. How is it this line can be so good at run blocking and so
Yes,
terrible at pass blocking,
I have no idea, man.
right? So
Yeah, actually,
you,
Waddle was saying that. Tom Waddle.
you would think that because they're able to run the ball so well, it would give Justin Fields a little more time to throw because they're playing for the run. And it just hasn't translated, right?
Oh, sorry, I took it off, but go ahead. I like seeing Velus Jones back in the offense a little bit. He's got some really good speed. Um, I like to see him get some more opportunities, but he must be missing something
Um,
to not get more plays besides Pettis and Aquaman.
well, look, they're only throwing the ball today. They only threw it 24 times, right?
Hmm.
Um, who is it? Mooney got 5 of those targets, which means there's only 19 other balls that they've got to throw, right? I mean, how many opportunities? Like they targeted Dante Pettis
BJJ.
got Dante Pettis got targeted 5 times also, so that's 10 passes right there. They're either going to have to throw the ball more to get some of these guys more involved, um, or someone's going to have to step up because there just aren't that many balls out there to be caught because they're just not throwing the ball. I mean, 24 times again today, right?
I'm gonna look up. You know what? Storm saying Velus Jones Jr. Can't catch. I mean, he's had some problems for sure, but what did it? I'm gonna look up what when we were drafting him, what they said.
Well, he was targeted 3 times today. He only caught 1. Um, Cole Kmet was targeted twice. He caught the ball twice. I mean, everyone else pretty much caught the ball when they were targeted. Thrown
Hmm.
twice to Kmet, he caught 2. Pettis was thrown to 5 times. He caught 4. Montgomery was 3 for 3. Nikhil Harry was 2 for 2. And Darnell Mooney was 5 for 5. So if the other guys are catching the ball, I get why you're not throwing it to Velus Jones Jr. if he's not catching it.
So let me tell you what some of his strengths were coming out of the draft. Can line up inside or outside. Route showed some improvement. Played his play strength to fight through contact and work back to the ball. Finishes the catch despite heavy hits by defender. Run out after the catch talent is a factor. Nothing about his weaknesses was doesn't drive hard into his routes off the snap. Below average wingspan. His age.
So his catch radius is a little bit smaller. He doesn't drive
Yeah.
off the ball. And in the NFL, that's huge if you can't drive off the ball. I mean, to start with, because that means the defenders aren't afraid. They're going to play press coverage on you the whole time because they know that they can stay on you because they're not afraid of you blowing past them.
Well, and that's what they said about Nikhil Harry from the Patriots.
Yeah.
He's not
Well,
playing. He's not playing that much either.
well, again, right now, like he's working his way back in. I mean, he was 2 for 2 today.
I've been working my way back to you, babe.
So again, the passing game is getting better. They're throwing the ball a little bit more, but again, when you're down 20 points, I guess you don't have much of a choice. But again, like you said, that the running game is so strong.
They could have been throwing it more. I mean, like that last drive, I was like, Jesus. Obviously, you're not trying to win now. You're not trying to gain back, 19 points in 8 minutes. You're not even trying.
Do you have a problem with that?
Yeah. I wanted them to try. I wanted them to throw the ball. But they were protecting Justin Fields too. He probably would have got killed.
If they knew, well, that play
Yeah.
before, what was that series before they got up 20, they were bum rushing him the whole time. So I'm glad he didn't hurt. I'm glad he got out of the game safely. It was a good decision to take him out of the game at the end. When you're already down 20 points. So look, the game was lost in the first quarter.
Yep. Kind of like the Bulls.
Right?
Like you
Fall
said.
down, right?
Yeah. Bears and Bulls get off to slow starts. They're flat. And then they try and come back valiantly, and then they fail.
So, look, and Storm's got a point here, right? I mean, they passed for 150, you're down 20, not impressed at all. Look, where do you think they are now? I mean, look, do you think this is just trying to get better every week? I mean, you obviously are competitive and you want to try to win games, but when you have a showing like this today, and then you saw the game on Monday night, I mean, where do you think we are?
We're stuck between a rock and a hard place, man, because we've got $20-something million to spend in the offseason. We have a bunch of draft picks. We may, in fact, trade some more people before the
Tomorrow's the deadline.
So it's possible that they get rid of somebody else. And you know what? They're just, to me, it's trying to gain improvement each and every week. But the defense looks like it's taking a step back. The offense is the one that seems to be making improvements slightly each week.
So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, that's a good thing. So if they continue to do that without anyone getting their head decapitated, then I'm going to consider the year successful for the offensive side of the ball. But the defensive side, I didn't think it was going to be this terrible.
Well, they were great on Monday. Look, this is the worst game they've played all year. They've been pretty impressive up to this point.
Well, and New England. New England's worse than I think we thought.
Well, they beat the Jets today.
I thought they were losing at one point, man.
They were 5-2. So, and they played at the Jets. And I think Mac Jones started today. So,
Jets, dude.
Look, I'll say it again. Look, today, I think the defense today was an anomaly today. And you can call me crazy, and Storm thinks I'm nuts, and that's fine, right? But
you're a little crazy because I think you said it many times. Williams is not making adjustments early enough. I don't even know if it's part of it is the players not making the plays and tackling, but Alvin Williams is not making good adjustments during the first half of the game.
Look, we're terrible. We're terrible against the run. You keep harping on that. Look, we're terrible against the run. Fine. Nothing is going to change that scheme, whatever. We don't have the players up front to go up against the run. I mean, and you weaken that a little more. Again, Quinn doesn't have the numbers per se, but he had, now you're throwing guys that don't have that experience up on the front line by committee. And again, they were getting into that second level. They were averaging 8 yards per carry today, which is ridiculous in the NFL today. So we'll see what happens next week.
The Bears were Herbert and Fields had a crazy amount of yards per carry too, though.
Well, look, that's expected because you're the number one rushing team in the league. That part's expected, don't you think?
In our former life, when Peyton was running and Neil Anderson and so forth, we were always up at the top of not only rushing, but of the clock, the possession of the clock. And it's completely different than it was 20 years ago in terms of these runs.
Let's see what the time of possession. I don't have the number for the time of possessions today.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's take a look.
You would think we would be able to take some more advantage of that and not be giving the ball back to the offense so quick. But I think these are quick rushes. It's not 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards. We're getting a 20-yard gain.
Just Just so you know, the Bears had 36 minutes of possession time. Cowboys only had 23.
Wow. Isn't that crazy? For
Well,
49 points? That's because we were giving up some big plays.
they were running up and down the field. I mean, they
Yeah.
scored. They had 242. They had 242 passing yards. Let's see what those. I'm trying to figure out what the time of possessions were for those touchdowns. I mean, it was ridiculous how quickly they scored. Okay, the first offensive possession was like 4 minutes. The second touchdown was 3 minutes. The third touchdown was 3 minutes, and the fourth touchdown was 3 minutes. I mean, our touchdown plays were 6.5 minutes, 6 minutes. We couldn't stop anybody today. So
amen, bro. That's
let's
it.
see what
That's the
let's see what
moral of the
happens.
story.
Let's see what happens next week. So we'll see what happens. See what adjustments the Bears make. They got another game next week. We'll see how it goes. So everyone, thanks for tuning in. Storm, thanks for the comments. Thanks for calling me. I'm crazy. I appreciate it. Right. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace.
Bear down. Love.
And digits.